Hey guys, thanks for checking out Scare Talk. But before we get to all the horror goodness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the platform that we use to upload our podcasts. Anchor distributes the podcast to Apple, Google, Spotify. It's free. It's super easy to do. You can record, you can edit straight on their website, anchor.fm, or you can download the mobile app and do a lot of the same. You can make money with no minimum listenership. Yeah, get out there, man. Start making a podcast.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Yeah, here we are. It's Scare Talk. I'm Danny, and I'm here with Juvenile Joel and Crazy Katrina.
Hey guys, what's up? Juvenile Joel, all right.
Yeah, you're so immature.
Yes,
I'm not thinking very highly of you today.
Well, we'll see about your list. Maybe you can be upgraded.
Yeah, or downgraded. You know?
Yes. So it is the end of the year, 2020. So we're going to do a top 10 for this year. Top 10 horror movies. So first of all, I want to say there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers and podcasters that would normally do a list for top 10 of each year. A lot of them I think are not going to this year because they're going to say not enough movies came out.
The mainstream movies didn't come out, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, so they're not going to bother. Or they might do a top 5. Or they're going to complain about how none of the movies came out that they wanted to see, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go on the record. I'm going to say this year for horror was better than last year, I think. Now, maybe you can disagree, but when we get to my list, I really liked a lot of the movies.
I did too. I mean, last year was definitely easier. Well, especially compared to the year before.
Yeah.
Was easier to come up with a top 10 because there really weren't that many. But at the same time, I wasn't really reaching to watch there were enough like mainstream movies that came out last year that I didn't find myself really looking deep into the Netflix horror movies or the Shudder horror movies or something.
Right.
I did that this year.
Yeah.
And was pleasantly surprised with quite a few movies.
Right.
So,
Which maybe that is a clue to the fact that maybe the non-mainstream movies are actually
better,
more pleasant
Yeah.
than the other ones.
That's what I wanted to say. You know, just because it's not in theaters or not mainstream, if you dig and find some of these lesser known independent films, you might like them more, you know, and that's what I think I found. Like I was looking at we did top 5 for 2019 and I looked at that list and I'm like, I don't know if these would make, like if I combine the years, I don't know how many of those would actually go onto the list for this year. So yeah, I just thought it was good, and I just know a lot of people are going to complain about it. So I just want to say, Scare Talk, we appreciate it.
Yes.
We appreciate those lesser-known films. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 through 2, and then we're each going to talk about some movies that didn't make our list, but we want to mention, and then we'll do our number ones.
Yes.
Okay, who wants to start? Ladies first.
Okay. Number 10 is going to be a movie that I wouldn't usually think of as a horror movie. Or I didn't think of it as a horror movie at first when I thought of this movie, but apparently it is considered that. This is Freaky
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a horror movie.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it was so much fun
Yeah.
and so funny, but then it did have that horror movie aspect
Yeah,
that it had to make my list.
Definitely a horror comedy.
Yeah. It was it was a
It was
really
a slasher comedy, pretty much. Mixed in with like the Freaky Friday kind of.
Yeah, the only
storyline.
reason that it is lower on my list is because I didn't think of it as a horror movie.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't even
otherwise-
put it on my list.
Okay, well, it deserves to be on the list, I think.
I don't know. No, it was okay.
It's one of those mainstream movies.
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
talk
It is
about-
a mainstream.
I don't like those
It is,
anymore.
Yeah.
No mainstream movies for me.
All right.
But no, it was good. I just think some of the comedy was a little like obvious or like not creative, but it was fun.
It was Vince Vaughn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He was
it's,
funny.
It's Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Vince
Vaughn
Vaughn
horror
comedy.
Yeah.
You know?
He actually did a pretty good job as like the bad guy, I thought.
Yeah.
Especially at the end. I thought he did. I thought he was actually kind of scary. So
Oh.
Yeah.
You were scared of him. Okay.
Played
He's
the
a
villain
big guy.
couple times.
All right, Joel.
All right.
Let's see what you got for number 10.
My number 10 is Come Play.
Oh, you saw that.
I did.
All right.
Yeah.
Number
Nice.
10.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. It was fun, and
Katrina loves
you-
that movie.
Oh, really?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were shocked by that being my number 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah,
I wonder what's gonna be
there's
up there.
been a couple of movies that like could have been in slightly different places, but I'm just gonna leave it where it's at right now.
Okay.
But number 10. I mean, it made the top 10.
At least it's on your top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one,
It's be like your number 1, right?
you want to explain this one a little bit?
So,
I think it's probably a lesser seen movie. Kind of.
yeah, I mean, it
it was in
a month
theaters.
yeah.
It was like in theaters right at that
Yeah.
small time that theaters opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they closed back down again.
Yeah. And it just got re-released, or not re-released, but it got released on demand, a month ago? Maybe less than that.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a horror movie.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. Follows a family. The little boy is seeing, I guess, these ghosts coming through his electronic devices.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. I didn't want to give too
You don't want to give
of
too
the
much
movie,
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about this movie that really made it good to me is the kid had autism, and it said a lot about autism in general.
Yeah.
The movie had a lot to say,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Katrina
It
will
did.
elaborate on that.
Yeah.
When we get
Yeah, I didn't
to
want
it,
to
I was
say too
gonna
much
say
because I wanted Katrina to have something to.
I will talk more about it.
Okay, so my number 10 is His House.
Okay.
Did you watch that one?
I did not watch that one.
No, I don't think you
haven't
saw
gotten
it,
a
no.
chance to watch that one yet.
Okay. So this one is a movie about refugees seeking asylum in Britain. And they get placed into this home where they live while they're, trying to get citizenship. And just all the crazy stuff that happens at their new house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more than just like a haunted house ghost story. It has a lot to do with the characters themselves and kind of their past, and it's got some good scares in it, and great acting, and a good twist at the end.
Okay.
So yeah, I really liked it. When I first had heard about it and I saw the description, I was thinking, is this going to be like a political, like immigration debate type of story? But it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't at all. So really, really good and pretty dark.
Nice.
Yeah. So check it out. It's on Netflix. Okay. All right, Katrina.
Okay, number
nine.
nine.
Number 9.
Let's see. Number 9 is The Cleansing Hour.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this movie was so clever, and I thought it was so great because I felt like it wasn't something that could actually happen necessarily,
Right.
but I feel like it's something that, like, it went off of something that could happen, like where it's the one where he makes this channel that he's streaming these exorcisms, and then an actual
Yeah.
possession
Yeah.
happens on
Yeah.
his show, and he doesn't actually know what to do.
Right.
So then he has to learn.
Right.
Okay.
And
It's on Shudder.
yeah, I thought it was so creatively done.
Yeah.
And
Because typically it would be like a staged show. So you'd have
Yeah.
someone on pretending to be possessed, and he would save them,
yeah.
But this time it's different.
Yeah, and then it had meaning, which like I like having a movie that has the deeper meaning in the movies.
Yeah.
And it had and then it also had your gore, horror
Yeah.
aspect to it. So
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed that one too. All right, Joel. What is your number 9?
My number 9, and this one could have been switched with 10, is Mortuary Collection.
Yeah. I'm glad it made your
This
list.
was a bizarre movie. Very strange.
You can switch it with 10.
Yeah. I would,
Switch with
there's a
10 with
couple
one.
that can 10 with 1.
Yeah.
It's I didn't realize it was a Shudder original.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Another one of those independent movies.
Yeah, Shudder
Yeah.
is doing it
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. It's basically, what is it, like 6 stories put into one?
There's 4,
There's 4,
and then the fifth one is kind of the overlapping story. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a fun movie. A couple of the stories were a little bizarre, but to say the least.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable enough to make my top 10 list. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. So my number 9 is After Midnight.
Okay.
This one, did you see this one?
I haven't seen this one yet. No.
You will like this one. We'll have to watch it.
Okay.
So
like it.
yes,
I will.
it's about a guy and his longtime girlfriend. His girlfriend leaves kind of out of nowhere, leaves a note saying she needs to get away. So it's about him trying to get a hold of her. She's not returning any phone calls. It's been a while. So it's about him kind of going into a depression, drinking a lot, while there's a monster trying to get into his house every night. So every night a monster is trying to like get into his house. They
Is
live.
he recognizing this?
Yeah, no, yeah. He has like his
move,
couch.
probably.
He has his couch like up against the front door, and he sleeps there.
Maybe that's why his girlfriend had to leave.
This was after his girlfriend left. When the monsters started coming. So I would consider it a romance horror movie.
Okay.
It has a lot to do with like relationships and relationship struggles and then throw a monster in there.
Yeah. Nice.
Bam.
I mean, can never go wrong with a monster.
So, but it's like real stuff. Like this couple going through real things because you kind of get to learn about their relationship and stuff. So,
Okay.
and a monster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Relationship and a monster.
So there you go. Okay. Another
What is
independent
it on?
film. This one I just searched online and I found it.
Ooh.
This okay.
Maybe it
Number-
wasn't even released.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's actually a 2022 release.
Okay, number 8.
Okay, number 8, The Babysitter Killer Queen.
Okay.
Right. Cool.
I love these movies, and I was glad they made another one, and they did a great job with the little twist at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
You're not gonna like where I put that one on my list.
Well, mine's all the way down at 8.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, you already put the best movie at the end, so I don't have very much faith for your list anyway.
So, anything else you want to add to that? one?
No, I mean, I just think it's so fun. I mean, I like these fun movies.
Yeah.
I like, there's specific things that are just, that stand out, you know, like, the way that they do their kills and stuff are so extreme and crazy that it's fun.
The guy with the who doesn't wear a shirt ever, he's pretty funny.
Yeah. I liked that they brought back all the characters from the first one. Because they're such characters. You know, and it was fun to see it.
I wonder if they'll be doing another one. What do you think?
They might. I remember there was a line in the second one that one of the characters said that they'll have to do this in another 10 years, something like that. Oh yeah, because it didn't work. But then the ending happened, and I was like, okay, well, it could end here. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I was kind of a throwaway line that kind of made it seem like it was kind of a setup for a third one, but. I don't know. I think they do pretty well.
Yeah,
for Netflix,
I would imagine they do.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Joel.
So my number 8 is Spontaneous.
Spontaneous?
Yeah.
I don't think I saw this.
It came out a month ago, I want to say. Maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, is it about like blowing up or something?
Spontaneous combustion, yeah.
Okay. And you watched it spontaneously?
Yeah, of course. But no, it follows this high school girl. It's the same, definitely not high school in real life, but she's the main character from 13 Reasons Why.
Oh. Hannah?
Hannah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
She's the main character in it.
She's in a lot lately.
Yeah. Knives Out also. But like these students just randomly start exploding in her school.
Nice.
Okay.
And they sort of like woven in a love story in there between another one of the survivors. And it's a fun movie.
Okay.
It
sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
How did you watch it?
Combust. I rented it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
We're doing number 8. All right. Anything for Jackson is number 8.
Nice.
That's another Shudder movie. And this one, you saw that one?
I did. Yeah.
So this one is about a older couple. Their grandson died, and they are going to do this satanic ritual to bring him back through someone else's baby.
Oh,
so they kidnap a pregnant lady,
it's
and
like
they're gonna put their grandson's soul in her baby.
Oh man!
Yeah, and so it was a dark movie, but I feel like it could have been better. It was good, had good effects.
And so you put it on your list.
Yeah, no, it was really good, but I just feel like it had so much potential to be. It had so much potential to be like top 3. Mm-hmm. But there was some stuff where I was like, oh, you almost did it, almost. But it was good, really cool, good storyline, good kills, good effects. Just missing a little bit.
Yeah,
but I really liked it.
Okay,
you're number 7.
Number 7. I am choosing Spree.
Oh, yeah.
This movie was so crazy.
Yeah.
And again, like creative, where I like when they're bringing in this like new world of, like social media and all this into movies of like what is happening to the world, you know,
Yeah.
with this social media and everything, where he's so obsessed with getting these likes and these followers that he will go to the extreme
Yeah.
to get them.
Yeah.
And
It's like a rideshare app movie,
Yeah.
basically. It takes
Yeah.
place on a rideshare app. It's pretty crazy.
yeah. So
Did you see that?
I've heard of it. I've seen the previews for it. I haven't watched it yet, though.
Okay. Yeah, one of the guys from Stranger Things
Yeah.
is the main character. Yeah. Yeah, it's a ride.
it is quite a ride.
Okay.
All right. So my
Next.
number 7?
Yeah, 7.
My number 7 is Freaky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I mean, there's
Very
you know,
mainstream.
It is mainstream.
The kills were really good.
There's
though.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So I like Vince Vaughn. I thought he did a really good job in the role, as he usually does.
Yeah.
And you know, he's played crazy killers before in movies, which I kind of want him to do more of.
Yeah.
'Cause he doesn't do it very often. And yeah, the kills were really good. This could have easily been like a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Without the
kills.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it would have wouldn't have been as good because the kills kind of made the movie. But yeah, you did a really good job, and it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah. I think even the girl did good as the bad guy. You know, she looked kind of creepy and, you know, her stares and stuff were scary but funny at the same time. So,
yeah.
They did a really good job changing parts.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so.
And the characters did a good job, like, taking in that change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The, like, scene where they're in the car. when Vince Vaughn is the good guy.
Yeah.
And he's, like, confessing his love to his crush. But it's like... It was pretty funny.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn did a good job. Okay. My number 7 is Come Play.
Nice.
I know, 7.
Oh my gosh.
So we've talked about this one a little bit, but again, the autism awareness of the movie is there. The dealings with how the family kind of responds to that and how they have to accept this diagnosis, and then you throw in like a monster from a storybook. And it's good. It's good. It has a lot to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that in theaters.
Yeah. It may have gone up if I had seen it in theaters. So I don't know.
It really didn't need to be a theater movie. It was the message in the movie that was so powerful.
All horror movies are better in theaters.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, I saw After Midnight on my phone. And His House. And they're on my list. So.
Yeah, but they're down on your.
They're down.
They're down. They're like
I'm like, wait,
bottom
this isn't
3. I mean,
Yeah, but they're made my
if you had
list.
seen them in theaters, they might be top 3. You never know.
I don't
At
know.
least top 5.
All right. So,
Okay.
oh, that was my number 7.
That was your number
Your
7.
number 6.
Okay, so my number 6, I'm sticking with the creative aspect and host.
Hey.
The fact that they did the whole movie on Zoom
Yeah.
was so cool because it was like we're all in this Zoom world now.
Yeah.
And it's like we're in this Zoom world and so frustrated with it. Like, I never want to see Zoom again. And then you watch this movie and there's some movies that it's just like, seriously, you're bringing this up? But this one was done so creatively that it was actually fun to watch.
It's an original. It was, it's the first movie that's ever been done that way before.
Yeah.
So it's really creative and
Well, at least on Zoom.
Yeah, on Zoom.
There's been like video chat movies. Like Unfriended and The Den was a video chat movie.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But the fact that they were able to take something that was going on right now in the world and still make it entertaining and not just frustrating to watch, and I like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like a group of friends doing a video chat and doing a seance on Zoom, since they can't be around each other and do it in person.
Yeah.
But what was cool is they didn't talk about necessarily COVID or, that wasn't like a focus. It was more so like, oh, this is how we have to get together, It wasn't like, they didn't talk about the virus really necessarily.
They didn't talk about the virus, but they did talk about how that's how they have to get together.
Yeah.
And so that could be like, here we go.
Yeah.
But they did it well enough that.
Right.
They could have made some like political rant or whatever about why they have to be on this Zoom. In the first place, it could have gone a number of different ways, and they stuck to the point. If it was longer, it probably would have been, because it was barely over an hour long.
Yeah, it was a short.
So
yeah. Well, yeah, it was only 40 minutes because it was the free Zoom, and so then it ended at that. That's what I thought was so creative too.
Yeah, no, it was more than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, but the meeting
so they
ended.
They may have. I think a couple of them did end the session, and then I think
because I remember the movie ending with the Zoom meeting ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember, like I don't remember how long. I know the movie was like 80 minutes. Or 70 something.
I don't think it was 80.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was barely over an hour. Shortened to the point.
Yeah.
That movie was.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
It was an hour and 5 minutes.
Oh. All right.
Okay.
So what are we at? 6?
Joel, number 6.
6. My number 6 is Anything for Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little higher than mine.
A little bit. Not by much, but a little bit. I just thought it was a good movie. Good acting in it. And one of those rare gems you find on, when you're really searching for horror movies to watch.
This was Shudder as well.
Yeah, this was Shudder.
Yeah.
I think it was an original Shudder original, and it was a good movie. Yeah,
it had a pretty good story.
Though. Yeah, it did. It definitely did have a good story. But you were right. There was something that was missing from it. I'm not entirely sure exactly what it was, but there was something that definitely could have made the movie a little bit better for me. But number 6 on my list of the year. So
yeah, pretty good. I feel like it needed to be darker. It was already pretty dark.
It was pretty dark.
It was pretty dark, but I feel like it could have, like, after watching some of the other movies that would be on my list, I feel like it could have been darker and would have been better if it were. So, anyways. It had a cool story, though. They kind of go into the background of the characters and stuff. So, all right. My number 6 is Host.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've already talked about it. Joel, I'm sure you'll mention it later.
It's a possibility.
But yeah, the Zoom movie of the coronavirus movie of horror this year. But it wasn't really about a virus.
Not
which is good.
coronavirus, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember back when this first started, I was like, oh, we have to do quarantine. We have to do the quarantine. Like
we did a podcast.
Yeah. Like as like almost like a joke. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when we were like 3 weeks in.
Yeah. Oh, this will last a month or two.
Yeah. Like,
I thought it would be ironic.
Now we're like, I don't want to talk anything about viruses.
A couple months from a full year.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Number 5.
Number 5 is The Lodge.
The Lodge is number 5.
Wow.
All right. All right.
Hey, you put Come Play even lower. So. We've talked about The Lodge before on the show. It is a wonderfully done movie.
So your top 4 better be. Well, I already know one of them, so.
I think my top 4 are pretty legit. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about it, but there were some other movies that just beat it out a little bit.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's The Shining of 2020. in my opinion.
I know, in your opinion. I knew where you would have it. So,
all right.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll talk a lot more about it, so
Yep.
I'll leave you to it.
All right, Joel. Number
All right.
5.
My number 5 is going to be The Hunt.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed the movie. It was creative, and I don't usually like political satires, but in this case, they kind of made fun of both sides, so it was it was equally as offensive to everybody. I don't agree with all the controversy that it got over the last year or so.
Yeah.
Because it was supposed to have come out in 2019.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was 2019.
Yep.
Yeah.
And got pushed back to now. So the kills were creative.
Yeah.
And
Kills were crazy.
and the acting was good, and the story I enjoyed pretty much everything about the movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say it did kind of take attacks on both sides, but I think it took more attacks to the left.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it was even, but yeah, there were some, punches on both sides of the fence. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny, though, because it was delayed, it was pushed back because
Of the attacks
on the right. So
even though there were more attacks on the left than there were on the right.
Yeah.
And it depends on how you interpret the attacks.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that is so genius about satires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it can really, it's up for interpretation.
Yeah.
And,
if done right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this one was done pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 5 is Unhinged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still haven't watched that one yet.
Oh, what?
I know.
Another one we were able to see, not in theater necessarily, in the drive-in. Gonna have to watch this one again. This one, Russell Crowe killed it in this one. He is very intense. The kills were really good. Really, I wouldn't say they're super creative, but very like abrupt, like shocking. Like you don't like, whoa, okay, that just happened.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, one of those like just thrill ride type movies where it's like it takes place over a couple hour period, and that's it. It's just a couple hours of couple characters' day and what happens. And Russell Crowe just he's
having a
he's
really
pretty
bad day.
he's having a bad day. Don't mess with him. And so I really like that one. I will watch that one pretty often, I think.
Nice. Yeah, Celine, watch that one. Is it technically a horror movie?
It's it's kind of on the
suspense.
Yeah,
like
it's hard to say with the kills that it has, and just the way Russell Crowe is in it.
Yeah,
it
he's
can
like
be
a horror character.
Yeah, it can be considered like a slasher almost.
It's pretty intense. Yeah.
All right, number 4.
Invisible Man.
All right.
Wow. All right.
I really love movies with a meaning. I do. I need a good meaning and a good, take that. So
It definitely had that in the end.
It did.
Yeah. So I love my, it's like, we talked about Black Christmas and that girl power, whatever, this is girl power done right.
Yeah.
And she let him have it.
Yep.
And that was great.
Yeah.
So
really, really cool movie.
Yeah.
Definitely started off the year strong.
Yeah.
With that one coming out early in the year.
And Lodge. Yep.
Yeah. All right, Joel.
All right, we're at number 4.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to
Making
go
some
with...
adjustments over there?
I made one adjustment.
Ooh. You put Come Play back up?
No. Getting close to like the top, 3 or whatever, and I'm just like, is this one good enough for that? I'm going to say my number 4 is The Dark and the Wicked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was a good movie. It was, I just watched it yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. And, it was a dark
and
a wicked. It was good.
Which one is that?
It takes place on a farm,
Mm-hmm.
and it follows siblings who their dad is dying, or he's in bed, like
he's like in a
bed.
coma, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's on his deathbed.
Yeah, and evil stuff starts happening around them, and their mom goes crazy. I mean, that's just all in like the first 5 or so minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
with the mom, but so it was good. The acting was really good. I think this was also Shudder. No, this was. I think I rented this.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
This was a on-demand movie. Yeah, so it was good. I enjoyed it.
We have our own horror movie going back there. Sorry.
Okay, so my number 4 is The Mortuary Collection.
All right.
This one was so much fun.
I really like that one.
I really like this one. This is one that I will watch probably every year. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a good... It doesn't take place on Halloween, but I feel like it's a Halloween time movie. It's an anthology. Joel, you kind of talked about it. 4 different stories and a 5th that kind of overlaps all 4 of them. It's about a girl going into a mortuary to try to get a job there, and the mortician is telling her stories about some of the deaths that he has seen, and trying to prepare her for what she's getting into. The mortician was so cool. His voice and just the way he acted was just awesome, and he kind of narrates the stories. So really fun movie, just outrageous, over the top kills, and just ridiculous. Yeah. I just like that sometimes. It's not to be taken seriously, that's for sure.
Yeah. Especially, there were... I think when I texted you that I was watching it, I think I was on the second story. I was like, what is this? Yeah.
Be prepared for the second story. It's pretty like, what? Some pretty crazy effects being used in that.
Even the first one was kind of... That one was just weird.
Yeah, it was short.
It was short and
just really random.
Bizarre, yeah.
So I was not watching the movie with them, but I was at the table hearing it while I was doing some projects. And I'm like, what are you guys watching? Even just hearing it from the other room, it's like, what is happening?
I imagine it can be pretty confusing if you don't know what it is too, because it's bouncing.
I
can't keep up with this.
What girl is this now?
All right,
okay.
We are in the top 3.
Okay,
top 3.
Number 3 is Unhinged.
Oh, all right.
Unhinged.
That's a cool one.
It was great. Well done. I was on edge the whole time. Like, you felt the movie. Yeah. You could feel it. And every time I'm in traffic or whatever, I still think about it. Like, it's always on my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not in
don't
traffic
blare
as
the
often
horn
as
at somebody for not going on a green.
Or at least apologize.
I understand how he felt.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, he was already off his rocker from how his
began.
day started.
Pretty sure the movie would have been over if she had just like apologized. That's all.
I don't know if he
from
would
the
have
previews,
taken
that's
the
all
apology.
he wanted at first, at least.
Yeah.
I think that based off the morning he was having, there wasn't going to be any apology that was good enough for him.
Yeah.
But it was wonderfully done. He was like a horror character. Like, yeah, it was great. I loved it. It had that feeling of like you really felt like you experienced the movie.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about it in the podcast, but even the opening credits were so intense.
Yeah. You were on edge right away.
Yeah.
And it put you on edge.
Yeah.
Watching the opening credits, like, it's like it got you all irritated and frustrated and like, oh! And so you're like about to blow with him. Like, stop honking your horn! Like,
Road rage.
Yeah.
And we were in a car.
And we were in a car. That's the thing. With our kids. We really had the mood set.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Joel. Number 3.
My number 3 is going to be Host.
Host.
One that has been talked about a couple of times now.
Nice.
I for what it was very well made. You know, it was just, you know, it's one of those things that makes you realize that literally anybody can be a filmmaker. Like, you have access to Zoom. Like this movie was made through Zoom. Like you can, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, more movies were made from these types of. I mean, they have been. It's not that new, like you were saying before. But, you know, everyone has access to Zoom.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, if you go over the 40 minutes, you know, you just, that's fine.
That's
just get a little bit for it and
Get
you know.
an account. Yeah.
The thing is it's been done before in the movies that you mentioned in a way.
Yeah.
But this was done so much more like it really was from home. Like, like a home movie. Kind of like, you know, Blair Witch was done with that, you know, video camera and handheld device and everything. And then Paranormal was done that way, but just not as real as Blair Witch was. You know, like this was really well done on the Zoom platform.
Yeah.
And I feel like these types of movies are going to get more popular. Because I think a lot of people like them. And there was another one called Searching. Did you see that one?
I think I have. It's been a little while since I've seen it.
It wasn't necessarily like over a video chat, but it took place over a computer. So everything that you saw on a computer is what the movie was.
Yeah.
And so I just think...
Did I see that?
I think you might have seen some of it. So I think that's going to be... Because we are in such a digital age where we use computers all the time, whether it be our phone or a laptop or a desktop or whatever, so we can relate to seeing stuff on our screen. And so it's kind of cool to like on the TV see like Zoom on a movie, you know, or you know, just see, oh, that's an Apple computer. Like, you know, it's just kind of cool to be able to relate to it in that way.
Yeah.
Bother hiding the fact that it's Zoom. It's like plastered all over the movie.
I know.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, then if you think about what, you know, years from now when they watch it, because I think about like old movies that we see and I'm like, oh, that's an old Mac, you know. It's like, oh man, they're on Zoom. Like,
they'll have virtual reality bad.
Yeah, now it's like when you watch a 90s or early 2000s, you're like, man, look at that cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a flip phone. Wow.
They've got a pager.
Giant computers.
Yeah.
Windows 95.
Yeah. Oregon Trail.
I haven't seen that yet in the movie.
I know, that would be great.
That would be kind of cool.
Imagine that as like a horror movie.
The horror movie, yeah.
The Oregon Trail.
It was pretty horrific.
Well, I mean, if you lived back in those days, people did, you know, die.
Someone always got bit by a snake.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was number 3, right?
Yeah.
That
For
was
you?
number 3.
All right, my number 3 is Invisible Man.
Oh, okay.
One of the, like we said, starting off the year off strong. I saw this one in November last year. Got to brag a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I had a pre-screening.
Oh yeah,
you
you
bragged
were
about that in
so
our podcast
yeah.
too.
And you really talked it up when you got home.
Oh yeah,
about how crazy it was gonna be.
yeah.
Well,
and it was good.
It was, but oh no, that was the other one.
It was us. Yeah,
That's the one that you really talked up, and it was like, really.
Anyways, Invisible Man. You could even consider this just like an action movie, action sci-fi or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, very good. Strong acting, strong storytelling.
Yeah.
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Way better. So,
Okay.
all right, top 2.
Top 2. I don't know what you guys will think about my number 2. One Bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I loved this movie. It is another one of those movies that you have that feeling the whole time. You're like with her, like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And no one seems to get it. And yeah, it left you were on edge the whole time. The stuff that they did to them was like, I don't know. It was really crazy. You can explain what it is. You're better at giving the synopsis of movies.
So this girl, these types of movies are always really cool. Where it's like you move in, or the main character moves into this new neighborhood, or you have a neighborhood and someone moves in there and they're suspicious, or your neighbors are suspicious, or whatever. Yeah. And this is that kind of movie.
Don't say they're always really good. Because there's some that are.
I like the premise.
Every single one made like this has been amazing.
I'm usually a sucker to watch something like that.
Yeah.
But this one is in an apartment complex, and just the neighbors are suspicious, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of give it away too quickly in this movie. I think they could have built it up a little more. You learn what the neighbors are up to very fast. But it's still, there's a lot to
Yeah,
the
it
movie
was a very quick movie.
Yeah. A lot happens after that piece that, it's different. It's definitely different.
It's been on my list for a little while. I just haven't, because I was going to watch it recently, but it said 2019. So I was like, I wasn't exactly sure. I know it did come out this year. It was probably 2019 is when it was probably supposed to come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to watch it and potentially put it on my list if it was going to be from last year. But
yeah, it's on Netflix now. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Joel, number 2.
My number 2 is The Lodge.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I really like this movie, and from the first 5 minutes, it hooks you in.
Oh man, yeah.
It's something.
Pretty
big happens in the first 5 minutes of that movie. I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, I thought that they were going to do more with that. Being a horror movie, I thought maybe that was going to be the horror
I'm
of
glad that that's not what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because, it could have gone that way. But, yeah, it definitely went a different way. And it was a very well made, really well acted.
Yeah.
The kids got on my nerves quite a bit.
Yeah.
I like the acting, but the characters were horrible.
Yeah, the 2 kids.
And I know they're little kids. I don't want to give too much away of the movie, but
they're sad.
They are. Yeah. They are.
Yeah. They had been through a lot.
Yeah. And
really quick.
They kind of, yeah.
The only thing is about this movie is I still am I thought they were going to incorporate the dollhouse a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
I remember being like,
Yeah, we'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they do. The dollhouse is used as, like, their plan. You know, it's like their blueprint or whatever.
Yeah, but there were certain things that happened in the dollhouse that was like, I don't know. I can't remember specifically. It was a long time ago that we watched this movie.
Yeah, it was January, I think.
Yeah, almost a full year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because we saw it right away in
like
theater.
A couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just
he's been trying to get me
theater.
to watch it for months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Since you brought it, and I was like, it's always been on my list, like on my, I think it's on Hulu.
Yeah, it is.
When I watched, at least it was when I watched it, and it was always on my list. I just never like turned it on.
Yeah, it took about 38 times of me telling you to watch it before you actually did.
Yeah.
And so, full disclosure, we made a top 5 podcast. Mm-hmm. We did an episode of the top 5 of this year, and Joel had not seen The Lodge.
Nope.
And I had not seen a lot of these movies that are on my list. And then you started watching The Lodge, I watched another movie, and then we're like, we should probably do this again. Yeah. Because they're going to probably make our list.
Yeah.
And
we got to do, And I'm glad we did a top 10,
Yeah.
not like a top 5.
Yeah.
Because there were definitely, like, we gave off quite a few good movies on here.
Yeah.
Between the three of us.
Yeah.
So, So, for everything that's been going on in the world this year, we still ended up getting quite a few good horror movies.
Some good ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get quite a few hopefully next year too, with the ones that were supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're looking forward to quite a few of those. I really wish we had gotten A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah.
That was literally like the week that the country shut down. That movie was coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. It was like, it was supposed to come out like that Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the first one to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm on number 2, right? It's my turn?
You're on number 2.
All right. The Dark and the Wicked.
Oh, okay.
This one almost became number 1 after I watched it.
Wow.
Whoa!
This one is so dark.
And it's so
wicked.
Yeah.
The scares are really good. Mm-hmm. The effects, the kills, awesome. I don't think there's any CGI involved in this movie. I think
I don't think so
all
either.
the kills and everything is just practical effects. Mm-hmm. Some of it is just so creepy. The atmosphere is what makes this movie for sure. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like The Lodge in the sense that it all takes place in the lodge, this one on a farm, the whole movie, and it really puts you there. Like you feel like you're there. And the sibling dynamic in there, and holding on to life, and it talks about grief and things like that, and just I was like, whoa. After I watched it. The very, very end, I was like, ugh. And no, kind of ruined it with that. Just that last 2 seconds of the movie. I was like, oh, I could have
watched number 2, not your number 1.
Yeah,
number 2.
Exactly. That's
should have bumped it down to honorable mention after that.
I just, sometimes movies can be so good, but they don't know how to end it.
Yeah.
And this one, I feel like it was just going in such a great direction. It could have just been done. Mm-hmm. But no, they had to throw this little piece in there at the very, very end. Yeah. And I was like, oh, man. Shouldn't have done that. But still really good. I will want to buy this when I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say if you can, but it's probably not going to go to a streaming service. Yeah. At least not right now. So yeah. You can probably, I was going to say you can probably buy it now, but that's probably just going to be on a digital. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's get into our honorable mentions before we get into the big number 1.
Okay. So should I say all my honorable mentions at this time?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have an honorable mention of the worst movie of the year.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Let's do that.
And this is why I said, and this is why I said you can't say all of those movies where you go into this neighborhood and so this is one where you're going into a neighborhood and it's this you get a bad feeling of the neighbors and they're all kind of weird. And this is called Spiral.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shudder.
Another Shudder. Yeah.
The worst movie. Not the worst horror movie. The worst movie of the year.
Wow.
That you
This
saw.
was the most obnoxious movie. Right when it had some glim of hope to be like, okay, this could turn around. Then they went a completely different direction and made it even worse. When you thought it couldn't get worse, it just kept getting worse.
It was pretty boring, too.
It
was a pretty boring movie.
And just so obnoxious and frustrating. Oh my gosh, the worst movie.
It's funny that we got a Spiral this year because we were supposed to get a Spiral this year.
And so, and when we put it on, I thought that's what you were talking about. And yeah, though at the very beginning, I'm like, I'm so confused at what we're watching.
Yeah, you thought it was the Saw
movie. Okay, so that's my honorable mention of worst movie of the year.
Good idea.
So then a few honorable mentions that didn't make the list but are worth mentioning. I put The Hunt on here.
Yep. That was number 10.
It was going to be number 10, but it got bumped. I would have had it higher if it had been later. So I still felt like it's done a little too soon. It's a little too real. Not real, but like the satire of it, the political satire going on is like, this is all just a little too real.
On the nose.
And which is not anything to say bad about the movie, but just I am like, I'm not ready to hear all this right now. I don't want to sit here and go back and forth with hearing either side of the back and forth. And so it was just done a little too soon. 5 years from now, hopefully, it'll be
all
more
be the
enjoyable.
same.
I know.
It'll probably it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So now is probably the best time to release it.
This is how ridiculous this movie is. One of the kills, the guy just yells at him and says, "Climate change is real." It's like, what? It's so random.
Although you do figure out at the end when they have been researching the people that it's like, oh, okay, that must be why he felt like that's what he needed to say to this guy.
But when you first
so when you're
like, wow,
like,
really
that's what you need to tell him right now? Like, and
really going for it.
I think that couple is what made me not want to have this in my list because I didn't like their whole exchange. It was too much. Too in your face.
They were very liberal.
and just like way too in your face. Kind of like the Black Christmas, like where it was like, okay, you don't need to be this this much about it, you know. So anyway, that's where that is. The kills were awesome. It was like so funny. They shoot him with just a shotgun, like not even like a rifle or anything, and half his head blows off. Like it's just like the stuff that was happening was amazing. So and then Empty Men is another honorable
Empty Man.
Empty Man. The Empty Man.
Okay, there you go.
The last name, Empty Man.
Whatever. Okay, start over. Okay, so then The Empty Man is another honorable mention. This was a really good movie. We reference it a lot in this house. And
didn't quite make your top 10.
Didn't quite make
referenced a lot.
There were a lot of good movies this year. There were a lot of good movies. And I don't watch horror movies that often, but I couldn't remember it enough that it didn't like move me enough that it like made a top 10 list.
Okay.
Like there wasn't enough of a message or like this feeling, you know, it's just, there were some creative things in it and it's like, you know, so, yeah. And the other one I have on here is The Lie.
Oh, that's one of the worst of the year.
That's what I was mentioning it on, not as a worst of the year, but as a, it had such good potential of it was going somewhere, and then all of a sudden it like was like that didn't make sense. That just like ruined the whole movie.
Yeah, the
like,
twist ending is so dumb, so bad.
Yeah, and the twist. Like usually a twist ending is like yes, this twist ending just ruined it. So it would have been on my list if it wasn't for the ending. And usually the ending is what gets it on the list, kind of thing. So
and
that was why I put it as.
This one was marketed as a horror movie too. Like Blumhouse put it out. It was in October. It was supposed to be
year for Blumhouse.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, you know, these 4 films for the Halloween season that came out. I haven't watched any of the other ones. This was not a horror movie, in my opinion. Not even close. But it was marketed as such. So
yeah.
Okay, Joel, you have any honorables?
Right. Were you done with your?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, those were my.
Okay, I have 5 honorables. My first one is The Babysitter, Killer Queen.
Yeah. Cool.
I really liked it. I know it made your top 10.
Yeah.
It was close. But I think it made my top 5.
It did.
It did.
It made your top 5 when we first did this.
But
ranking.
you know, I watched several other movies since then.
Yeah, over the last
that was a couple
month
months
or
ago.
Yeah, over the last month or two. I know I've been really trying to catch up on 2020, finding just these random movies that I'd never heard of, and you know, there's been lists coming out. So I look up like top 2020 horror films or whatever, and I just find these obscure articles that have these movies I'd never heard of, and I'm like, oh, okay, check those out. And then we had to redo our list.
Yeah, glad we did.
Yeah.
Another one is Underwater. That one came out in January. Very start of it, and with Kristen Stewart, which I don't usually like, but she did a pretty decent job in this movie. The whole movie is underwater. Obviously, they're in a submarine, I believe. Yeah, and it just it pretty much immediately in the first 2 minutes is like nonstop at that point. Like
you were telling me that.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I'm not a big fan of like underwater movies in general. I just don't. Water doesn't do anything for me.
I like it just because I'm
underwater.
I'm interested in underwater because we haven't we've only gone 10%. We've only searched 10% of the entire ocean.
Yeah,
like that's there's still so much that we've never seen. Down there, and like as far as the creatures go, like they do get creepier and creepier the further down you go. Like there's so the fact that we haven't even cracked the surface of what's underneath the water, obviously there's not going to be these like monsters that
maybe.
I mean, if there were, you think that they would have gone up to the surface at this point.
They can't survive out of the water. Come on, Joel.
Yeah, they might need the darkness.
They need the darkness of them. Yeah.
I think what killed it for me with underwater movies is Waterworld.
That doesn't count.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, no. I'm more interested in underwater than I am in space. I don't care.
I would.
I don't really want to do space either.
I don't like. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, we've spent so much time in space, but we haven't really spent hardly any time underwater. That I'm just like, okay, there may be aliens. Okay, that's cool.
There may be aliens underwater.
Yeah, there may be aliens underwater. You never know. But so I'm more interested in finding out what's underwater than I am in what's on other planets, because at least what's underwater is on Earth. Like it's all, it's all feasible that we could end up seeing this.
Yeah.
We're not going to be visiting Neptune anytime soon. Like it's
yeah.
Maybe Pluto.
Maybe Pluto. The furthest planet from Earth.
Yeah. Not even a planet.
We don't even know
anymore.
what's on Mars. Like that's so yeah. And another one I have is You Should Have Left.
Oh yeah.
With
you liked that one.
What is it?
With Kevin
Bacon.
I forgot about that one.
You say Kevin Bacon. I'm like, okay.
Well, he only came out with one horror movie this year. A family moves into this new house. It's a really nice big house, and he realizes that like the measurements of the house.
Oh
are off.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do like that movie.
And like the basement, what is it? The basement was wider than it was showing on the outside, or the outside was showing. I think the basement was bigger on the inside than the measurements were showing on the outside, and they realize that there's more to this house than what meets the eye.
Oh gosh,
So.
yeah, I'm getting the chills thinking about it.
So
that was pretty good. I think I fell asleep watching that one.
I think you did. Yeah, because I remember you woke up and you're like, wait, what? Like, oh my gosh.
And my bottom two are both kind of lame, but I needed something on there. I've got The Rental.
Oh yeah, that was in your top 5.
I'm pretty sure it was honorable mention.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
It's still an honorable mention.
It's still it hasn't really gone anywhere. It had potential. The acting was good, but when it got to the kill scenes, it just sort of like you don't see anything happen. It's just like this guy is like killing them, but it's like all off screen. So like the build up is really not really worth it.
I don't think I've seen this.
No, yeah, we rented it.
Yeah,
a couple months ago.
The Rental.
Yeah.
It's not streaming anywhere. And then my last one.
You better.
You don't
not
even want to
say
mention it, huh?
Because I'm trying to.
You can say it was the worst movie of the year.
I
don't know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
Well, it's Fantasy Island. I know. It's
What? I
needed
heard
one more movie.
how terrible this is.
I needed one more
From
movie,
you guys.
and this one. If I had seen movies like Unhinged, I hadn't watched it yet, so it definitely would have gotten kicked off my list.
Okay,
for sure.
well, I'm gonna mention
if I had
another
seen
movie.
even one more movie than I did.
Okay, I'm gonna mention another movie that you have seen that
that I didn't make
should.
on your...
Yeah. And I would have put it on my list no matter what. Okay, we're not even going to talk about Fantasy Island.
No, we're not. We already did a whole podcast on it,
Yeah.
so
It's one of our most listened to
it is
podcasts. Yeah,
It's in the top 5.
people like that one. All right,
They
so
like us talking about that.
yeah, like that episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, run through these. I got Empty Man as well. This one, not anything like Candyman or Bye Bye Man or any of those other man movies. It kind of looked like it was going to be kind of a ripoff of Candyman.
Yeah.
You say his name a certain number of times, blah, blah, blah. But very different. More so a mystery of who the Empty Man is, trying to figure that out. Had a really cool twist, but it went a little too far. I thought the twist was good, but it kind of dragged out and didn't hit the mark as well as it could have. So there's that. The Hunt. I like that one. It was fun. It had me laughing multiple times. So, and it not necessarily a horror movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
got
action.
some good kills.
Some good kills.
If you count
Blumhouse. so I'm just gonna count it.
Yeah, if you count like some of the other ones that we counted, like Unhinged and Invisible Man, as horror, then I think you'd have to count that one.
Yeah. Okay. One Bedroom. Really like that one. We talked about that one. Okay, and then The Wretched. We just watched that one. That one was pretty good. It had a lot of potential as well, but then kind of some of it didn't really make sense, and some of it just was like, what?
And I was kind of annoyed by the interactions with the characters.
You felt like it was awkward or something.
Yeah, I felt like it was forced. Yeah. Like all these relationships and like I don't know. I don't like when people just all of a sudden become like these great friends where they're going to tell you this like deep, dark secret that you're probably going to think I'm crazy if I tell you. Yeah. And it's like, I just met you yesterday. Like, I don't know. I don't like
instant friends. It can happen.
Yeah, it's
love it first sight.
The way that they even became instant friends, like taste the rainbow, like, and she gave him Starburst, like. It was like
those are two different fruit
what exactly
candies.
I know, and like I don't know. It was like this is
right
the
off,
weirdest
you were like,
interaction.
This is awkward. Yeah.
I
don't know. It didn't bother me as much as you, but I thought it was a cool story. Like it had a cool story.
Yeah, the coolest part was
scares were cool. Like the actual creature in it, I liked.
Yeah,
and I like the whole again your suspicious neighbor. Kind of setup. So, anyways, we're talking about that way too much. Okay. This one I was going to mention no matter how many movies I saw this year, no matter how many movies came out, I want to give some credit to The Grudge. I think that The Grudge got a lot of just... Okay. It didn't have a chance. Right when it came out, or before it came out, everybody was like, oh no, they're going to make another American version. It's going to suck. And it comes out in January, and so it's not going to be good. It can't be good. I didn't think it was that bad. I think it needed more respect than it got. And it was way better than the first attempt with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Way better than that. Dark, good kills. Good story. I don't really have any problem necessarily with the movie. It wasn't a great movie, but it was better than Fantasy Island.
That's debatable. Okay, so for The Grudge, I actually went in with probably higher expectations than I should have, because the preview made it look really dark and really creepy and just really suspenseful. And I think that episode was the one that I was mentioning how there's always this horror this trope in horror movies where some character will hear something, they'll go investigate, and then nothing will be like they won't find anything. They'll let out a sigh. And then as soon as they do that, something bad happens. It happened at least 3 times in that one movie alone. And it kills the suspense because you know what's going to happen. Yeah. Like as soon as you let your guard down, obviously, you know, something's going to happen. Yeah. And after a while, it was just like that is just getting annoying in this 1 hour and a half movie alone.
See, I didn't even notice all that. I just liked the story of it and the like characters and the history of the characters and the kills, and I don't know. I didn't notice all that, but you're right. I'm sure it was there.
I do like that they kind of like connected. I mean, it wasn't really a remake. It was also a soft it was also kind of a sequel. To
the Japanese.
Well, I think the Sarah Michelle Gellar one. I think she was in Japan.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. And so they brought that because they started in Japan. Yeah. And then they brought it.
So it was almost like a sequel.
US. So it was kind of like a sequel, kind of.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, you know, our whole is Black Christmas 2006 a remake or a sequel kind of thing. It's the same kind of thing with The Grudge, where it could be a remake, it could be a sequel. Yeah. That's up for interpretation. So I think I just had higher expectations for that one than I did with even Fantasy Island. Because I mean, that one didn't stand a chance.
Come on. The Grudge is better than Fantasy Island. It's okay to admit, Joel. You forgot a movie. It's all right.
No, that's one that was going through when I was trying to decide my fifth honorable mention. I was like, which? Because there was that. There was those two. There was The Boy 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wondered if that was this year.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's worse, that or Fantasy Island. I think Fantasy Island's still worse.
I don't know.
I can't believe you put that in the honorables.
It was
Joel. You're
It was
fired.
my last honorable mention.
All right, you're definitely juvenile.
Well, do you want to? Since I had 2 of my honorable mentions were worst movies. Well, one was worst of the year. Do you want to change your feeling about that movie?
I'm not going to change. No.
Okay.
No.
He didn't say it was good. He just
I didn't say it was good.
wanted to mention it for some reason.
Okay.
Because
so
I want to make people aware that the movie exists, right? So much has happened this year that, the
it
January,
did come out.
February movies are just,
Yeah. Definitely not a horror movie either. That was another Blumhouse.
Yeah.
That I don't know what they're doing right now.
I don't either. Because that was fresh off of Black Christmas.
Yeah.
Like a couple months
Yeah, it was
after that.
Yeah,
Like,
that was probably
what
their
do you-
next film.
Really? Yeah.
Did they get
Came out.
different writers, maybe?
I think Blumhouse just puts money into
they just
into
throw
movies.
money at it.
It's kind of like the Michael Bay. Like he doesn't he'll just produce movies.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what they are. This will make me some money.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure, at least with some of their movies, I mean they do
do
produce
good
really
ones.
good movies too.
Yeah.
So it's been hit or miss with them for quite a while.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Number ones.
Oh, yeah, we still have our number ones. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have got to talk
All
about.
right. All right. Let's do number 1, Katrina.
Come play. This is a number 1 movie. They did, like you said, they brought so much awareness, and they really, I mean, I felt like whoever wrote this movie, I feel like they have experience with having a children with autism or, or work in the field or something. Mm-hmm. Like they had so much heart in it. And it really helped to bring awareness to the struggle within the family system, within the school system, within like his whole world, how his world is just so different than everyone else's world around them, and how then it creates this difference within the system. Mm-hmm. And the mom is struggling with connecting with other moms because of this difference. And oh my gosh, it had so much meaning that it was all the way from the very beginning to the very end. You have this like amazing feeling of, oh my gosh, it's just like such a good movie, both for horror and for just meaningful. It's so meaningful. I mean, I was crying and like everything through it. It was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, it did have a lot of just to say, and then you throw in that it's a horror film, and it is a horror film.
Yeah, because it was scary. That monster in there, it was scary.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I think that the monster was done really well. Mm-hmm. And when it came into the world, out of the storybook and into the world, it was done so well. Yeah, and all the acting was done well. I think that everyone was good. There wasn't any annoying actors that you're like frustrated with, or I've nothing bad to say about it.
Actually has autism.
I know.
I feel like he did a great job representing that.
Yeah.
And it did have something to say about like just autism and screen time.
Yeah.
Too. And, I think they're trying to kind of bring that conversation up. Like, is there's some connection here with screen time and autism? And, there is that debate out there. So, yeah,
and
I had a lot to say.
So, like, the monster accesses him through his device.
Yeah.
And he can't be left without this device because that's the way he communicates.
Right.
So it's like, oh my gosh, it really is just amazing. It was done so well.
We're going to start getting emotional.
It was so good. It should move up on your list. Watch it again.
My number 10, your number 1.
I will put some surround sound in. Make sure it's really nice in here, and you can come over and watch it.
Yeah. Put the screen up.
Yeah. We'll get the big screen
cool.
up. Yeah. There we go.
Feel like you're in a theater.
Yes.
There you go. So that's my number 1.
All right.
All right, Joel.
My number 1 is The Invisible Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was that your number 1 before?
I think it was.
Did it?
Yeah.
I think
it was.
Okay.
It was such a well-made, just everything movie. Like we've already talked about it a couple times now. Yeah. Both of you guys had it on your list.
Yeah. And we did a podcast on it.
And we did a podcast on it.
All 3 of us. Yep.
Yeah. It was a very, very good movie, and the director Lee Winnell. Mm-hmm. He usually writes movies. I think this is like maybe the second or third movie he's actually directed. And he did a really good job with the directing too.
Yeah,
it's the start of the monster universe. Like the Invisible Man is supposed to be, and I think he's going to be directing another. I don't know which one it is, but I think that he was approached again to make another one of the monsters.
So what are they? There's like the Mummy.
There's the Mummy. There's Dracula, Wolfman, Invisible Man.
Okay.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Frankenstein also. Yeah.
So they're going to try and do all those, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the plan. That was a plan back when the Tom Cruise Mummy came out.
Yeah.
That didn't do very well. So they're like redoing that because they had all of the actors for all of those characters already. And they were like all like A-list actors. I think they even had in that particular version they had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as Russell Crowe.
Oh,
and so he was actually in that movie too,
yeah.
As Dr. Jekyll. He hadn't been Mr. Hyde yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
in the Mummy.
In the Mummy. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so that was probably the best part of that movie, like introducing other characters that are going to be in other movies, but they completely scrapped that.
Okay,
and they're redoing it with I think Invisible Man as being their first movies. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that universe there.
Yeah.
So so it was a very good movie and a very good start to this new little universe that they're doing here.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
okay. My number 1 is The Lodge.
Yep.
It's been number 1 since I saw it, and it's going to stay there. Very dark and light at the same time because it's around a bunch of snow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's very bright. Certain scenes are very bright. It's just the acting, the kids acting, like you feel for them so much.
Yeah.
Until you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at first, you really, really feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
And was it Bill from It?
Yeah. Bill.
The boy who played Bill in It, Chapter 1, is in this. He's the boy in this, obviously. He does a great job. Whoever the actress is that played his sister, like I feel like there should be an award for child actors because they deserve some sort of an award.
Yeah, I think if there were more of them, they probably would have that category. But it's hard to find good child actors.
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
the thing,
difficult to do. And
they did awesome.
Yeah,
and just the story, the ending. Oh my gosh. You just are just punched in the gut.
Yeah.
With that ending. There's only like 2 kills in the movie.
Yeah.
But the kills, like, they don't even matter. It's like the suspense, the story. Like, is this like a paranormal like movie? Is the what's this gonna be? And then you find out what it is, and it's like, oh my gosh, and so good.
It is.
I can't say enough about it. I need to watch it 10,000 more times. There's a lot that I think is missed if you only watch it once. I think you can interpret a lot of it metaphorically too. It deals with religion and cults and just good stuff.
It's a good movie.
Good stuff. So go watch it. If you don't watch anything else, at least watch that.
Watch Come Play.
Invisible Man. I'm sure at this point everyone's already seen that one.
All right. Whew. Well, that's it.
All right.
So go out there. I'm sure we put some movies on your list. Go out there and watch them. Send us a message or something on Facebook. We're at Scare Talk Podcast. On Twitter at Scare Talk Pod. Give us a listen. Give us a message, a comment, a recommendation. Let us know that we suck. Whatever you want to say. Just talk to us.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't think that, but
yeah, I would like some positive talking.
In case any feedback is
we'll take anything.
Wow, you're really wanting.
I want to know.
All feedback is good feedback.
Yes. I want to, even constructive.
Constructive.
Yes.
It's constructive. You suck is okay, but just saying you suck, like, keep it to yourself.
Yeah. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. Right?
That's why we don't have any comments.
Man, I think we're pretty great.
Man, all right. Okay, well, this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let 2020 bite.